Hello everyone, welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith, and today we dive right back into Legendary Encounters, The Matrix from Upper Deck Entertainment. We're going to pick it up where we left it off in the last video. If you haven't checked out those videos, the unboxing and part number 1, I'll put a link to the whole showcase in the top right hand corner so you can get caught up to where we currently are right now. If you're not part of the conversation on Discord, a link to that will show up on screen as well. And also we have the Facebook group, both places, areas to discuss solo games at all times, constant conversations happen there. We'd love to have you in either spot or both spots. Without further ado, let's dive into some more gameplay. Heading into the Matrix phase, we move another card into the Matrix row, which pushes everything down. So everything covered in the top row at this point. We've got these hand of cards. Let's see what we can do in terms of recruitment and combat. So I took a look through my hand of cards, and I think I'm going to use the coordinate keyword when I'm playing true solo for the ability to discard that card in order to draw another card, as I have tons of combat and not much for recruitment. So really recruitment's not going to be a thing for me this turn. So I'm going to go ahead, discard this one, we'll draw up another card, and we got ourselves, oh, that can be really good for combat or recruitment. So this is a really great hand to maybe deal with stuff going on up here. So for now, we're going to come back into the Matrix as we can. Always get into the Matrix, no problem. Don't have to worry about phones or anything like that. We only have one phone space to get back out. We're gonna have to pay 3 recruitment points if we want to leave, but I don't. So let's go ahead and start scanning some things. This really is an awesome hand of cards. We're going to use this one here. It's a trap get out. This is a tank card. This is going to allow us to go ahead and look at a face down card in the Matrix row, which I'm going to do. I'm going to pick the most expensive one because I get to do this for free, so why not? We'll flip this one over, see what it is. We got You're Faster Than This. Now this card has an interesting fight condition on it. It says discard the top card of the strike deck. If it has 2 damage or more, defeat this enemy. Otherwise, leave it where it is. Now this only triggers when you fight this enemy. As you'll see an asterisk next to 3. So once we get 3 fight, we then go ahead and discard that card off the top of the strike deck to see if we've actually taken it out. I'm going to go ahead and use 3 points of my fight that I've already generated from this one. I have a total of 4 here in my pool right now. We're going to go ahead and try to hit this thing and see if we take it out. The strike card is a 1. So this card is going to stick around. I'm not happy about that result, so let's go ahead and use another card out of hand. This one I can choose to use for 3 recruitment or 3 fight. I'm choosing 3 fight. Let's go ahead and resolve another card off top of the deck. It better be 2 damage or more, and it is. So we've cleared off the rooftops. Let's get back to scanning more areas of the Matrix. I'm going to play this card next. I think it's a good one. This one's going to give me 3 fight. It also says once this turn, you may choose a player in the Matrix. I can choose myself and heal their lowest damage strike. I have 2 damage on Neo right now. This is now gone, so we are back up to full health. That's a great card for managing your strikes against you. We're also going to go ahead and use 3 here and decide, do we want to go ahead and check out the subway? Probably. Want to see what's there. Now, I do remember there was a lady in a red dress, I think, or maybe it was one of the agents that have now shuffled further down, so we're going to probably run into one of those. I've kind of forgotten exactly where they sit, and that might actually hurt me. Let's see what happens. We got ourselves an enemy. So reveal if this enemy is in the Matrix row, which it is. Draw a strike. Unfortunate. So that was foolish of me, and I got myself 1 damage back, which is not good, but I can go ahead now and try and take this individual out. I just need to generate 3 attack, which I can, coming off this card right here. So this is going to take out the agent. Now, just to recap how many fight points I have, again, as you're playing cards, you're creating pools, essentially, of recruitment points and fight points. I still have 1 fight point remaining to spend from cards I've played, so remember that. Now, we're going to go into the next one. I'm going to go ahead and add to that 1 point I already have in order to scan this location right here. Let's see what is there. There is the lady or the woman in the red dress. It says at the end of your action phase, this is going to turn face down, but I'm not going to let that happen. I'm going to go ahead and throw a knife, and that's going to be 3 damage. And that's going to take that card out. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and resolve the next card here. We have Free Your Mind. Resolve your avatar's ability for the current act. If we take a look at my avatar's card for Neo, it states for Act 2, you get 3 attack, or I should say 3 fight, and you get to draw a card, which is pretty awesome. So we'll use the 3 fight to scan the alleyway. Let's see what we find. We got ourselves a challenge card. I've also drawn up a card. This is the one I got. Not very useful for what I'm doing right now. The challenge here says reveal. Put this above the building space. While in the Matrix, if the building space is clear, you may jump. Discard the top card of your deck. If it has a cost of 5 or more, you made it. Otherwise, draw a strike. Either way, complete this challenge. That'll do it for the action phase for me. Quite happy with what I was able to clear out and get going on this turn. We head into the strike phase. We have nobody striking us, which is nice. Cleanup phase is easy. We take all the cards we've already spent here. We're going to put them in the discard pile and drop 6 more cards. As we head into the next round, we have to make note of the fact we do have an actual card in the building slot, so the challenge cannot be attempted until this area is clear. And we've got ourselves new cards, but we got a lot of recruitment points and not so much on the actual fight side of the equation. We have a total of 7 for recruitment points, which is great, but we only have a little bit on the attack. So we'll be able to maybe take a look here and scan this one, which is probably the very first thing I'll do. But first, we need to bring out the next card in the matrix row, which just simply goes right here and doesn't push anything along the way. So let's go ahead and actually try this. Let's go ahead and scan this position right here to see exactly what we're dealing with. We're going to flip this card over, and we found C, the Oracle. This card is also a challenge for Act 2. It says reveal, put this card in the operations area. And it says for Act 2, if 7 training cards have been defeated, you may talk to the Oracle. Complete this challenge and begin Act 2, Part 2. All right, so far we want to take a look and see how many training keyword individual enemies we've taken down. Looking at our defeated enemies pile here, we have separated out the training ones. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 that we've taken out so far, so we need 3 more to complete that challenge. Now at this point, all I have is recruitment points, but the building space is clear, and as the challenge states above it, I could go ahead and attempt to jump this. Now, if I pull up a card from my deck and it's not 5 or more in terms of how much recruitment cost it is, so it's the value in the bottom right-hand corner is the one we're looking to have 5 or more, and it's got to come off the top of my deck, then we are going to miss the jump and have to draw a strike card, which is going to go right into our pile. We already have one over here. So the question is, do I risk it right now? But the thing is, I have a lot of cards in my discard pile right now, and I'm not going to look through my actual deck because that is cheating, but I'm going to look through my discard pile, and you can see I've got cards, especially these knife throw ones that are value 6, so that would be helpful. We got lots of 5, so I think a lot of my high cards are in this discard pile, which doesn't make me feel all that secure about jumping at this moment. So we're going to ignore that. We're actually going to head outside the matrix. We're going to use our recruitment points where I have a total of 7, see if we can pick something else up that will help us. Now, unfortunately, there's no cards in here that cost 5 or higher that can help me with the challenge later on. So in terms of what we want to do for pickups, I might go after this one here, knowing that I could get this one. They can stack in terms of their fight damage. So I'll grab this one for 4 and grab this one here for 3, and then I'll spend my 7 points. Now, every time you gain a card from the dock row, you're going to go ahead and immediately replace it. So I took the first one out and replaced it with this one. Can't afford that one anyway based on me spending 4 points of my 7. So we'll go ahead and take the one we were planning to take. We're going to go ahead and replenish here, and we got another one. That's going to do it. We moved to the strike phase. Nobody's striking us, which is nice. Cleaning up, we're going to go ahead and draw 6 more cards. Drawn up a new hand of cards. Very happy with what I'm seeing. I looked at every single recruitment cost point at the bottom right-hand corner. Not a single one of these, if they came off the top of my deck, if I tried to attempt the challenge, would have been a success. So I definitely avoided failure, which was a good thing. I had a good vibe. There was not a high value enough card in there in the bottom right-hand corner to succeed the challenge. So thank goodness I did not do that. I only have 4 fight this time around, and we got 4 recruitment, so not a ton. We're going to go ahead into the matrix phase, move things down. We got more cards coming in. It's going to block up the challenge until we deal with it at the building. In terms of recruitment, seeing as I'm outside the matrix, might as well look at the row here. We know we have one of these guns, lots of gun cards we just picked up recently, so let's buy another one for 4, and we'll replenish that area. And then we're going to go ahead and get ourselves back into the matrix, and we're going to do some scanning with only 4 fight here to spend. Now, looking at these cards, these recruitment don't give me any abilities off them, so we're spending these as we did before already. Now we're going to go ahead and look at these and see what we want to do. So if we need to scan 3 for the building, I'll use this one here, and we'll use this one as well. This also has an ability on it we'll talk about in a second. This is the bug one. Allows me to help my hand, or I should say, clean out my discard. So let's go ahead. We got ourselves Deja Vu. It's an event. It says if this is the first Deja Vu card revealed, it does nothing. Now, if this is the second Deja Vu card revealed, discard it normally, and then read a glitch in the Matrix extra card. That does not sound good. So for right now, we just take this and put this in our discarded events pile. Nothing else happens. Now let's go ahead and resolve this card here. We think you're bugged. I can choose to defeat any card in my discard pile. I have a huge discard pile right now, but no bugs. So we're just going to go ahead and get rid of this one here, the unplugged card. Just one that only gives me 1 recruitment point. Not very good to have in the deck. We're going to get rid of that. And we're going to go ahead and say those are now done because we used them already. We have 1 fight left. There's really not much. Actually, there's nothing we can do with that 1 fight, so it is going to get burnt. That's going to end our turn. Strike is not happening. We have nobody in there, and we're going to go ahead and replenish our entire deck, shuffle it up, and draw 6. We've gone ahead and drawn up our cards, and look at this hand. We got a whole bunch of low value cards that do not have high recruitment costs, which is going to bring the odds up that if we try to attempt that jump, we might actually be able to succeed at it. The problem is here, going into the matrix phase, we have to draw another card, which is going to push things down. So we're constantly having to deal with something being there unless we get ahead on the combat side of things, and we are not doing so good in that regard. But I do have this for your, actually, well, I guess we do. We have a 3 here. We have a potential 3 here off the ability. So we might be able to pull this off. So let's see how we do. Let's see how we do with the Free Your Mind. We'll spend this to get 3, which will scan the building. Let's see what's at the building. Oh, and the Deja Vu card came around again. So we are going to go ahead and read a glitch in the Matrix extra card. Of course, just as we try to run towards that building and jump off of it, something bad is going to happen. It says, put 2 SWAT officer extra cards face up into the 2 rightmost clear spaces in the matrix row. If there aren't enough clear spaces, put each remaining SWAT officer card into the combat zone. Good thing we cleared out the matrix row, so that is not going to happen, thank goodness, but they will come into this row. And then put the Agent Smith extra card face up on top of the matrix deck. He will enter the matrix row face up next turn. To say a wrench has been thrown our way is an understatement here. Again, these SWAT units are coming into the clear rightmost spaces, and so that's going to be the building and the alley. And you can see the rooftops doesn't move down like a normal draw off the top of the matrix deck and push down. These cards are coming in as part of extra cards which were out of play. They're being dropped into the 2 rightmost clear spaces, and then Agent Smith is on top of the matrix deck, which means he will come in next and push everything down further. This is bad. These things need 5 fight to take out. They are not fun, but good thing I cleared out this row, so we got some time to work our way up to taking them out in the future, hopefully get big enough fight turns to be able to do so. This card is now done and resolved and has been used. What else are we going to do here? We're going to go for it. We're going to be bold and see how this pans out. We're going to use switch here, which we can allow for 3 fight or 3 recruit, so 3 fight. 4 or 5 is enough to take out the SWAT officer, but we can also choose which one we want to take it out of. I'm absolutely taking it out of the building space. Why am I doing this? Because I want to attempt that challenge. So as the building slot is now clear and we are in the matrix, we meet all the criteria for the challenge. We're going to go ahead and draw the top card off our deck and hope for the best. No one ever makes the first jump, but will we this time? We don't. Well, it was worth a shot. Let's go ahead to the strike deck and see how much damage we are taking from the fall. Oof, 3 damage. So a total of 4 damage on Neo so far, which is not good. He's down to 8 health, and we have 2 cards left in hand here. We can do some recruitment up to 3. The question is, do I want to? There are some reasonably decent cards inside the dock row. We could go after a card that could be beneficial in terms of healing. So we might do that, but the heal comes only as part of a class ability trigger, which we need 2 of these cards in order to do. But there is another one in the dock. So if I get this one this time and get the next one next time, I can kind of chain them off each other. But this is not a class ability or class type, I should say, that I've been really focusing on. So it's probably not the best option, but we're going to take it anyway, see how it goes. We'll replenish the dock row. We got this card. I love this card. So we're going to put that in the dock. That'll probably drive me towards it in the next round if we get enough. Drawing up our hand of cards, we got a nice mixture of fight and recruitment. We're going to go ahead to the matrix, and we're going to be pushing these cards down the row. Agent Smith makes his appearance in the rooftop area. It does state here in the combat zone, when he eventually reaches here, players can't leave the matrix. So once he gets here, he really ties us down, which is not good. It says when it's Act 3, Agent Smith leaves, put his card into the defeated enemy's pile. So he's basically going to stick around. He's going to stop us from being able to recruit. But he won't be stopping us from recruiting until he gets to the combat zone, so we do have some time here. Let's go ahead and scan this card as I'm trying again to find those training cards to progress my overall challenge. Let's go ahead and use this one here for knife throw. We're going to throw this card upside down. We got ourselves, ooh, stop trying to hit me and hit me. We need 4 on that one. Now here's what I've got in my hand currently. I've got 2. And I also have 2 coordinate recruitment point cards, which I could use to discard one of them on my turn in order to draw another card, hoping to get another combat related one that might get me to where I'm at to take this one down. So let's risk it. Let's go ahead and discard this coordinate to draw another card. And we got ourselves the +2. And it's actually the one that pairs with the one we bought, which is awesome. So this is really ends up being 2, 2, and then we trigger one of them for a +2. So that's 6 right there. That's awesome. That is more than enough. It states here, we're gonna go ahead and draw the top card off the strike deck. Is it 2 damage or more? It is. That card has been defeated. One thing I do have at my disposal here is 5 recruitment points, and I'm very tempted to leave the Matrix, which I think I'm going to do, and take the switch card because this one's awesome, allowing me to take either 3 recruitment points or 3 damage. Plus, it's a 5 card, so it would actually help me with going after this challenge in the future if I decide to do so. So let's take this one. We'll put it into our discard pile. We'll replenish here, and we've got ourselves Mouse. That's going to do it for my turn. We have nobody in the strike zone we have to worry about. We're cleaning up. I also realized I put my 3 attack cards I used to take out the individual, threw them in a discard, so I pulled them back out just to show you I've spent all 6 cards. These are going into the discard right now, and we're drawing up 6 more. We've drawn up our hand of cards. We got ourselves some decent recruitment points here and a whole bunch of attack, which is nice to see. Agent Smith moving to the building space. We have the rooftops here. Now, the one thing that's interesting is that I cannot attempt this challenge or get rid of Agent Smith because there's no fight value on him, so you cannot take him out. He's just there at this point to kind of mess with us, and he's also going to mess with us big time when he gets to the combat zone, stopping us from recruiting. So this is a really poor spot for him to be in, but because I'm not focusing on the challenge just yet, I might try it when my deck refreshes again. We'll see. I'm kind of risking it at this point. I don't really want to hurt myself too much, as I mentioned. Let's go into this round here, maybe trying to deal with the SWAT officer. But again, this one is probably, well, I hope so, it's a training card, and this is probably one that I need in order to get out of this situation and complete this challenge. So we need to focus on that. So I do have this card right here, which is a great one, allows me to look at a face down card in the Matrix row, and I got 4 fight off this one as well. So we're flipping this over, and we do indeed get a training card. So when we fight this, we do the same thing. We pull a card off the strike deck. We've got more than enough damage to hit this, so let's go ahead and use 2 of the 4 to do that. We're going to flip this card. We want to see 2 or more damage, and we got 4. That is a huge hit. Glad that's not coming against me. It's going against Morpheus in my training, so this card has been defeated. That is awesome. We have a total of 6 training cards downed. We need 1 more. Let's focus on the SWAT officer. It's not a training card, but we can at least get rid of it. We got 2 attack left off this card that I've already played from my pool of fight. We'll go ahead and add another 3 to it. So I will put these 2 into the fray. It says at the end of your turn, if you defeat at least 1 enemy this turn, draw an extra card when you draw your hand. So we're going to get 7 cards next round, which is nice. This card has been taken care of as well. That is awesome. And then looking at the rest of the cards that I have here. Oh, and my mistake, actually, I should have moved my individual into the Matrix to start off, because that would have been where I wanted to go when I was dealing with this. So if I want to leave at this point, well, yeah, actually, it does make sense to probably leave the Matrix. I do apologize for not actually moving myself into the Matrix for free before I did everything up here. That's the only time I think I missed that so far. So should have done that. So we're going to say we moved in for free. We did everything we just did in the Matrix area. And now if I want to leave, I still can, because I do have available phone lines, so I could do that. We're going to go ahead and jump back out to recruit things. I'm going to go ahead and do, let's see, we got 2, so we got 4 recruitment. What do we want to focus on? I could go after that health one again. This one's really nice, but I don't have enough for it right now. So maybe we'll just go with the Trinity one again, because I really like that card. It gives me a bigger hand size. It's quite nice. And we'll replenish this. And we've got an I Love You card that's worth 8. That's a huge one. So that's going to do it. I don't really have anything else I want to do here. Strike-wise, we don't have to worry about anything. And then the cleanup phase, we're just discarding everything and drawing up 7 this time. As we head into this next round, we got ourselves a whole bunch of fight and a little bit of recruitment here. We're still outside the Matrix. The question is going to be, how do we deal with this challenge? Now, I've ignored it up to this point, but I can't ignore it anymore. And that's because we have 6 training cards defeated. And this is one of the training cards we need to defeat. You'll see a training keyword right there next to challenge. It's a little bit hard to see as it's mixed with the background of orange there. So we do have to deal with it. The problem is we have Agent Smith sitting there, and if we continue to deal with whatever card comes out of here, we're going to never have Agent Smith move away from the building. It's going to cause us problems. So we almost need to leave a card there face down so that the next turn it will push things down the row, and then we can actually deal with it. So we're going to go ahead this turn going into the Matrix phase. We're putting a card in play. We're going to actually ignore it on purpose, because the next time around, the next round, we want things to move and get him out of this building area so we can actually try and attempt the challenge. So we're not going to be very productive in terms of using any of our points. I'm just going to be using them for abilities. So we're going to play this one right here so we can go ahead and defeat a card. I don't have any bugs, so I'm going to get rid of an unplugged card just to kind of clean my hand up and hopefully make that next attempt easier. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of this. I also don't want to spend any recruitment points while I'm inside the matrix, or I should say outside the matrix, because I don't really want to pick up any cards that are low value. I'm trying to keep my deck with high value so I have a chance to actually succeed at this challenge. So that one's done. We also have this one here. So once per turn, we can choose a player in the matrix and heal the lowest value damage card. So it's going to be the 1, which gets us a little bit healthier than we were before, which is nice. The rest of these aren't going to help us unless I want to try to discard for the coordinate ability. Now, the only thing that could make the recruitment worthwhile is if I can discard one of these coordinate keyword cards, which I can do once per turn to draw another card up and hope that I get something that helps with my recruitment points. I got a 1, so that actually didn't help at all. So at this point, we're going to basically burn the rest of our cards here on this turn because we're doing this on purpose. Remember, we're not really picking up much on purpose unless it's a 5 or higher card in the bottom right-hand corner. And we also want to shove this row down further. So we've drawn up our hand of cards. We got 2 fight cards for 3 each, which is nice. We got a whole bunch of recruitment points, and we want to see this happening. The Matrix row is going to push things down, so Agent Smith no longer at the building, which is nice. Another card coming in off the top here at the rooftops. Now we are currently outside the Matrix, so let's think about what we can get here. We got lots of recruitment. I could use 2, 3, 4, 5 to get this card here, which I want has a nice high value that could help me with the challenge, although it would be way in the future as my deck has been replenished recently. But still, it's a good one for healing strikes too, and I've got one on me. What I'm thinking of doing is I got 2 cards in here that have coordinate on them. I can only use or discard one once per turn in order to draw another card up, which I'm going to do because I want to get more fight. I don't know what's behind these cards, but when I start taking a look at them, I don't want to run into anything too surprising. Let's see what we get. We got ourselves a heal. That's not what we wanted to see, but let's do some recruiting, seeing as we're outside the matrix. Let's go for this 5 here. We're going to need to generate those 5 recruitment points, so I'll play this one here. You can scan any space, and if there are no face-down cards in the matrix row, you can draw a card instead. We'll just go ahead and put the full 5 in here to make sure we're paying for everything fully. There we go. So there's our 5. Let's go ahead and take this card, place it in the discard. We're going to go ahead and flip this card up, new card in the row, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to be able to check this out. Now, this is one of those times where you can check something out in the matrix row, even though you're not in the matrix. That's kind of interesting, right? Because normally you'd have to be in the matrix to interact with this, but some cards will allow you to do it based on abilities on them. So let's go ahead, flip this over and see what's there. Oh, Cypher is there. Cypher is an Act 3 card, which is pretty wild, so we really need to finish off this See the Oracle card here, so we need to beat this challenge as fast as possible, which I'm trying to do. We're going to place Cypher into the real world next to the Avatar card, so it will not be on the playmat whatsoever. And at the end of your next turn, if Cypher hasn't been defeated, he defeats all players. If you are defeated before them, he defeats all players. Cypher doesn't strike. So Cypher is now in the real world, and we are absolutely going to attack Cypher. We're going to use the Free Your Mind for my ability for 3. We get to draw a card, which I will. And we're also going to go ahead and put the Knife Throw with it, which is 6. That will take care of Cypher. And the new card ends up being a 5 card. That hurts my soul. It is now in my hand. That would have been the one as we attempt the next challenge that would have succeeded. Oh my gosh, I hope this doesn't hurt me. So we've got these 2 cards in hand right now. The building area is clear. Let's go ahead and make an attempt here and see whether we can actually try to make the jump. Off the top of our deck, we're looking for a 5 or more. We got a 0. That is going to be another failure. We're going to go ahead and draw a strike. This challenge is very difficult. 1 damage though, so not bad. I'm okay with that. And my apologies there. I should have used my free move to be in the matrix in order to make that jump. Doesn't have any gameplay impact, but I do want to make sure I move myself in now for free as I could have and done the challenge. Now, here's the interesting thing. The challenge doesn't state that it's once per turn, so I assume I can continue to try this challenge over and over again. Of course, the risk is the strike cards destroying me. So we're going to attempt this challenge another time here and see whether we are able to succeed at it, and we are. Thank goodness. I wasn't going to take any more damage, so that was perfect. So we do complete that challenge. That is the 7th challenge, which means we complete the See the Oracle challenge in the operations section. It states on the card, if 7 training cards have been defeated, you may talk to the Oracle, complete this challenge, and begin Act 2, Part 2. Setup. Each player randomly gains one of the following Oracle Hero extra cards without looking at it and puts it on top of their deck. There's 5 of them. I've got them all right here, so we're going to shuffle them up and put one at random, and then we begin Act 3, Part 1. It now states to put the Rescue the Captive extra card into the operations and 2 Captive's Guard extra cards into the combat zone. The objective is to rescue the captive. All right, so we got the Captive's Guard, both of them inside of here. One more card in here. We cannot use the actual phone that's in this location. We have the Rescue the Captive card in the operations area. It says you can only complete this challenge while there are no captive guards in the combat zone. When you complete this, begin Act 3, Part 2. So our main focus here is taking these 2 individuals out for their 7 fight values. Then we have to go ahead with 7 recruitment points at that point once these are gone in order to complete it and move on to Part 2. Doable. Also up here we have Agent Smith, who was going to become a problem if he got down to the combat zone in Act 2, but it says when it's Act 3, Agent Smith leaves, put him into the defeated enemies pile, so he's gone for now. And as you guys know, as soon as we progress through a part or an act, which we did, we're going to go ahead and jump right from the action phase we were in all the way to the cleanup phase. So no strike phase, we're going to clean things up, our turn automatically ends, we're going to draw up 6 cards. So heading into this round, we've drawn up 6 cards. Here's the Oracle card I got. Remember, it was one of 5 randomly placed Oracle cards. This one got placed on top of my deck, so it came right into my hand. It says, you've got the gift. I can use this to draw a card and scan any space, but we need to do the Matrix phase first. We're going to go ahead and push this down the row, and we're going to draw another card into the rooftop area. We'll go ahead and spend this one right now to draw the card, and we're going to scan something. We ended up getting Your Men Are Already Dead. This is a great card to get. Thank you, Oracle, because 3 combat from this, 1, another 1, and 2 is 7, which means we're going to be able to take out one of the Captive's Guards this turn, which is perfect. Could not have worked any better. Now we still get to scan something, so we'll go ahead and do that. I'll take a look at the building space to see what it is. It is going to be Breaking Into Your Mind. It says reveal the top 2 cards of your deck, and then discard each with cost 1 or more and put the rest back in any order. That's really bad. So let's go ahead and take a look at the top 2 cards. If it's 1 or more, so we're losing that one. That's unfortunate. And 1 more, please don't be high. 2 good cards are gone. Now granted, it's not defeated, so they're not removed from my deck. They're just discarded. So they go into my discard pile. They're just not going to come into my hand next turn, which is unfortunate. But we got ourselves 7, so we're going to commit this one, this one, this one, not this one, and this one in order to get the 7 we need. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which is enough to take out the Captive's Guard. Awesome. So one of them is down, which is perfect. Now we also get the advantage of using this ability right here, and we'll use this one as well for drawing an extra card next turn. But this one allows me to clean up my deck a little bit. So let's go find either an unplugged card or maybe another one like Free Your Mind. Free Your Mind is good. Let's get rid of this one right here. We're going to continue taking away those recruitment ones and keep the fight ones in there because I think the fight's going to come in handy. Now I kind of want to jump out of the Matrix to spend with my free movement to spend these recruitment points, but it's only 3. But there is a really good card in here to grab, so we're going to do that. We're going to jump out of the Matrix in order to pick up with the 3 here this card, which I absolutely love. Helps me to clean out my deck, and that's going to do it for my turn. Now during this strike phase, because the enemy is attacking me, but I'm in the real world, I'm actually going to lose a point of time. If I had been in the Matrix, I would have actually drawn a strike card. It would have gone against me because I would be in the Matrix with that enemy fighting them, but I'm outside of it, so they're hitting my time in terms of how much time I have to win this situation. So we now go to clean up. We're going to clean up all these cards. We're going to draw up another 7 cards because this ability right here. Now that's what I'm talking about. We got ourselves a very strong hand here, tons of fight and some good recruitment as well. So very happy with what I'm seeing. Matrix turn. These things are moving on down the row as a new one comes out. And we could do some recruiting. I forgot to replenish this card here, which I should have done. There's a 6. Now let's go ahead and spend some recruitment points, I think. Do I want to though? So I got 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have enough to be able to kill this and also do that. I don't think, unless there's something here I'm missing. So what will probably happen, we'll probably just go ahead and focus on picking something up from here. 5. We're just shy of a couple of the really, really good ones. Mouse isn't bad. Could take mouse, so I think I'll do that. I'll take mouse as I'm outside the Matrix right now for 4. We'll bring this card in. That's a good one. So we're committing these two right here, this one and this one. I'm not going to really use the ability here because we're going to be able to use a free move here to bring ourselves into the matrix at this point. We're going to focus more so on going after the captive's guards. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a lot. So we're going to put all these into play, which is enough to take this out. And when we take this out, that's good news. We also get to scan, because it says looked at a face down card in the matrix row. There's also a class ability here, but it won't trigger because I have no... Actually, no, it will, because I got this operator tank with a class here, so I get this one too. So first off, we're going to look at the face down card in the matrix row. I'll take a look at this one here. We got ourselves military guard coming down the pipes. That's not good. And then once this turn, you may defeat a card in your play area or discard pile. So that's good. We'll go ahead. Actually, you know what? Let's just defeat the unplug that's right here because I'm not planning on using it anyway. So we're just going to get rid of it. So that's a nice one to clean things up. And we have dealt with this. We just have to now go ahead and spend the points on the challenge. But we're done at this point. The strikes would happen. Nobody's in here, so we're cleaning up. All these cards go away, and a new 6 coming out. Interesting. Interesting indeed. So we got 2, 2, and a 1. So that's going to be 5. We need 7. So I'm going to probably be using a coordinate to discard to try to search for that last one I need. When we go to the matrix phase, everything is moving on down because we're not really dealing with things here. Things are starting to clog up a little bit. We're going to go ahead and discard. Do I discard? I guess I have to discard this one here, which is kind of painful. We have to replenish the deck and draw from it and hope to get 2 recruitment points on the card. All right, let's see if we're lucky this time around. We draw the top card, and it is a fight. That is not going to be what we need in this situation, but we can do other things with it, so it's not horrible. Now, we're in the matrix right now. We still have our free movement to use, but first we'll go ahead and maybe start digging around and seeing what we can take out. So I only have 5 right here, so I can't take out this individual who also has cover, which is worth mentioning. So how cover works is if there's a card face down on the left or the right side of that card, the card in question cannot be taken out. So I cannot deal with this card until this card is face up. So saying that, let's go ahead and spend this Morpheus card here for 3. Now this does allow me to choose a player and get rid of a damage strike. It has to be the lowest one, so I'll take the 1 away, which is nice. Slowly getting away from that fall damage that I had from earlier. We'll go ahead and flip this one up and see what we get. We got ourselves Agent Brown. This card's coming in with 8 fight and an asterisk on it. Let's read about that. It says, fight when defeated. If there are any human enemies in the matrix row or combat zone, defeat the one closest to the matrix deck and put this there. For strike, if you draw strike with at least 1 damage, you draw 1 fewer cards at the end of this turn when you draw a new hand. All right, we'll continue on with our turn here. We've got 2 cards. I'm just going to use them to generate some fight, but I'm not going to actually use them for anything, so they're just going to go over there. And we've got 5 recruitment here. We're going to have to jump ourselves out of the matrix, which we can do, so we're going to pop ourselves out. And with 5, what do we want to pick up? Well, there's not a ton of options, to be completely honest, that are all that great, unfortunately. And I can't boost this one up to get its class ability because I don't have that class icon anywhere else that I've played in advance. So I'm going to go ahead and take Operator and Dozer. This will be these 2. Actually, well, I'll take the 1 for 3, and we'll see what happens when it's replenished. There might be another card that comes out. Nope, that is a good one, but it's not the one I'm going to take right now. And we'll go, and I could have done that in reverse order, technically. We'll take this one, put this in the discard pile, and reveal this one. Nice. That is looking like a nice one. I would love to have that. Going into the strike phase, we have nothing attacking us, which is great. We're replenishing our hand to 6. All right, we got ourselves very close to getting the necessary recruitment points to pull this off, but the Oracle's probably going to have to help us out. We're going to the Matrix phase here, moving things down the row. This is really becoming a bit cluttered, which is unfortunate because I'm focusing so much on trying to progress things. So let's go ahead and do this. Draw a card. You can scan any space. That should be handy, hopefully, as long as it doesn't hurt me. So we're going to draw a card first. Do we get recruitment points? We do. That's awesome. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have enough here to know we can deal with this. That's great. We're still currently outside the matrix though, so we're going to have to bring ourselves in. We're probably going to do that because I'm not using it for anything out here. So let's go ahead, free move into the matrix, and we're now going to go ahead and probably, well, let's see here. I could do some damage to some stuff. This is 3 and a 1. The Oracle allows me to scan any space. So let's scan something and just see what we get. Actually, we might as well scan the most expensive one. Well, actually, let's scan the 3. Okay, so we got, oh man, these guards are painful. Okay, so I still can't take those out. So my fight here is not going to be beneficial whatsoever. So let's kind of put those off to the side. They're not going to help me, but I can go ahead right now and complete the challenge, and I don't gain anything special from the cards, but I do complete this, and this allows me to go to Act 3, Part 2. Neo's been doing pretty good so far. We only have 3 damage on our avatar, so we have 9 health, doing decent. We rescued the captive just moments ago, so we completed Part 1 of Act 3. We're going to Part 2. What does it say here? So, an agent has destroyed your exit. Do you run and end the game with a minor victory? This is a question, so we can take a minor victory. This is something inside the Matrix that's really cool for this one, is that you can take a minor victory, or as you can see, you can push for a major victory. Or are you beginning to believe? Set up, put the Agent Smith extra card with 12 fight face up into the rightmost space of the Matrix row. If the inevitable card is in the Matrix row, put him 1 space to its left. If it's in the combat zone, put him there. Objective is to defeat Agent Smith. I don't know about you guys, but let's go for it. Let's see if we can pull this off. So we put him in the rightmost space of the Matrix row, which we have just done, and our goal here is to take him down. So Agent Smith has destroyed our exit, meaning we're stuck inside the Matrix and we have to fight him. And at this point, we move right past the strike phase and into the cleanup phase, where all the cards that I have here are now thrown in the discard, and we draw up 6. Oh my gosh, what an amazing hand to pull right now. Look at what I've got here. I ended up getting 2 of the gun cards again. These cards are 2, and then you get to trigger one of these abilities, which is another 2, so that's 6 right here. This switch card is 3, so that's 9. And then we got another 3 from the Morpheus card is 12, and 1 right here, we even needed it from the mouse, which is 13, to deal with Agent Smith. So we're going to the Matrix round, and we know a card's coming out, so Smith is coming down the combat zone. He has no idea the pain I'm about to throw on him, and these cards are coming on down the pipes. Wow, I cannot believe I generated that much fight on that pull from the deck, especially when we're halfway through. That is super exciting. Now let's talk about what's on Agent Smith's card to make sure we're playing properly. We have the double strike here. A card with double strike will strike twice during the strike phase, and each strike is treated separately. So if an effect lets you avoid 1 strike, you're still receiving another one from a double strike. So this guy you do not want sticking around the combat zone, as he's really going to start hammering you. Now below that it says Agent Smith is undefeatable unless you fight him in the subway or the combat zone. So thank goodness I actually let a whole bunch of cards come into the Matrix row, which pushed him into the subway spot to start, which means I could have attacked him there and only in that position, but he ended up moving to the combat zone anyway, so regardless, he is open to be hit. First, I'm going to play this card right here to get 2 recruitment points. I'm mainly doing this for this class ability icon up top, so that when I play this one and I get 3 fight, I can also once per turn heal a strike card from any player. The lowest level one is going to be my 3, so now Neo is completely healthy, has no issues whatsoever. And again, I'm building up my fight to 12, so we're going to go ahead and add switch on top of that. That is going to be 6. Then we have this, which is going to be 7, 8. And then another one of these will be 9, 10. And then, of course, because we played the prior class before it, we get another 2, which is 12, and that is going to be enough to meet this fight requirement and defeat Agent Smith. So we'll go ahead and flip over this card and remove it for part 2 as we succeeded. It says Act 3, Part 3. We're not out of the weeds yet, it appears. Set up, move the player who defeated Agent Smith to the Matrix and move all other players into the real world. Defeat all cards in the Matrix deck, Matrix row, and combat zone. From left to right, put the Agent Brown, Agent Jones, and Agent Smith extra cards with evade face up into the 3 rightmost spaces in the Matrix row. Put the Sentinel Destroyer extra card in the real world in front of all players who are in the real world. Put the Become the One extra card above the time track and then turn this card over. That is a lot to handle. Here is the setup of this card as we just read. Because we are Neo playing true solo, we're stuck inside the Matrix, so we only care about the agents that are inside the Matrix. All other players are considered to be outside the Matrix, and they would be dealing with a Sentinel if we had been playing multi-handed and had character out there, or we had other players on the game table. I only care about the agents. We have Brown, Jones, and Smith coming at us across across the row. The Matrix deck has been completely defeated, so it's been removed out of play. The other card that's in here has become the one that sits above the time track, and essentially what we're trying to do here is pump this thing up by spending fight. If we can get it from where it's currently at to 10, and every time you want to uptick it, you got to spend one higher than where the time track is in fight value in order to move it up to the next space. If we can get it up to 10, then we can become the one. At that point, I'm assuming something really special is going to happen, but that's going to take some concerted effort to pull that off, although we have seen high fight values from myself so far, so possible. Let's see how this goes. So now that we've been pushed right to the cleanup phase, we're going to clean up our area here and drop 6 more cards. I ended up getting a ton of fight this time around, which is very nice to see. That could really help us with this time track and pushing it up. Now we're done here. We would normally go to the Matrix phase and draw a card, but there is no card because we defeated the entire deck. So instead, at the end of the Matrix phase, chase on each of these cards is going to happen, which means each of them is going to go ahead and move down the row anyway. So each of them coming down the row a little bit further. And at this point, we're going to try our best to come over here and deal with this. So we're going to try and throw as much fight as we can. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's actually way more than enough to bump us up to the next slot on the time track. So I've gone ahead and placed my cards off the side that I've used. I'm also going to take advantage of this. This will allow me to draw an extra card next round. So I'm going to get 7 cards instead. This one allows me to discard something that isn't worthwhile in my hand. So seeing as we are pushing really hard for fight, let's go ahead and get rid of something on the recruit side of the equation. So another unplugged will get pulled out of the card, or out of the deck, I should say, making things easier to find that are better cards. I'm liking this. This is another awesome round of cards. You can see my deck is becoming much more fine-tuned as I've taken out a number of those low-level cards. So I'm getting some really good cards now and can continue thinning my deck with this one, which I love. I've got 2 of them going through my deck, and they're constantly thinning things out as they come through. So now we go to the Matrix phase. Of course, we know we're moving things along the row, so these guys are getting closer every other second. And at this point, we're going to go ahead and see if we can push this time track further. We definitely can. So we have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, which is more than enough to get us up here. Because again, whenever we're trying to increase this, we're just trying to get to the next level above the tokens. So we only need 9. So we easily got there. So I'll trigger this card's ability here to choose a card from my deck and to defeat it. I'm going to choose one of the attack cards here to get rid of it, one of the basic ones. So we'll change it up from the unplug. Now the thing to mention here is we can still try and evade these individuals. And if we invade them, as we talked about earlier, we can actually push them back down the Matrix row. So in other words, we're kind of slowing them down from getting into our combat zone and of course causing us problems. The problem is I'm not getting enough recruitment points to be able to do it. This is an evade 6, an evade 8, and an evade 10. We are nowhere near that on any of the rounds we've had so far. We seem to just be getting a ton of fight. Maybe that'll change. Heading to the cleanup phase, we discard all the cards. We draw up to 7 because I had an ability on the card that allowed me to draw 1 extra one. Here is my hand of cards. Not bad. We got some actual recruitment points this time and some decent fight, but unfortunately, we're not up to the 10 that we need this time around, so that's no good. But first, Matrix phase is going to happen, which is going to have Agent Brown using Chase to push down into this area. That is going to be problematic for us, and we're going to see what we can do in terms of pushing back some individuals. I do want to try and evade this enemy from being able to strike me. It'll be double striking me if I don't, so the evade is 6. I can spend these 3 right here, and that will give me what I need in order to evade this. It goes to the furthest right space in the Matrix row, so that's good. Now, unfortunately, I don't have enough generated fight to get to 10. I only have 3 off this, 3 here, and 2 ones is 8, so I'm just shy of pulling that off. Going into the next round, unfortunately, I'm not again going to have enough fight to push us up to 10, but we're going to the Matrix right now, so things are moving. So this individual is coming down, Agent Smith to the subway, this individual, Agent Brown, to the building space, and we've got an individual here we want to try and evade at 8. We have 2, 4, 6, and we can make this 8, or actually we make this 9, sorry, because we can turn this into a 3 recruit, so that's going to be enough to push Agent Jones away into the back of the row, so that's good. We'll commit these. Do I get any bonuses? No, I do, actually. If I play this one first before playing this one, then I can heal a strike, but I don't have any strikes, so no issues there. We have the ability to do some fight, but not enough to actually move the time. That'll do it for this round. There we go. This is the hand I was looking forward to. I got 3, 3, 2, 2, and 1. Way more than enough for the time track. But first, again, we have the Matrix phase, so the chasing is happening. We have Agent Smith in here. We're going to go ahead, and we're definitely going to do these right now. Doesn't matter in terms of the abilities, except for this one will allow me to draw up an extra one later on. The rest can't really help me at the moment for abilities, but we're going to spend 3, so 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is enough to take us up to 10, and that's going to trigger becoming the 1. As you can see on the Become the One card, it states at the bottom, if the time track reaches 10, turn this card over. Let's find out what happens when we do that. Flipping over to the opposite side in the sleeve, it states at the very top, it says, starts on the other side, we already know this. Then it states, you are the one. You effortlessly destroy Agent Smith. The other agents are going to flee, which is awesome. And then it says, soon after you tell the machines, I'm going to show these people what you don't want them to see. Where we go from there is a choice I leave to you. The game ends with a major victory. And just like that, we've completed Act 2 and Act 3 and the entirety of the first movie within Legendary Encounters The Matrix. There are 2 more movies to go through to enjoy with this game. And as you can see, I pushed past the minor victory, which I could have stopped at, and went for the major one. There might be times where you might think that your deck is not ready for a major victory and you might want to take the minor victory. There's nothing wrong with that, but the major one is so much more satisfying if you can pull it off. And that, my friends, is going to wrap up Legendary Encounters The Matrix, showing you exactly how the game flows and operates in a true solo fashion. Really hope this helps you make an informed decision on this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the play and the game that you've seen to this point. And as always, keep on rolling solo.